What is the scariest trust your gut feeling you felt before and glad you did so?
20 years ago, my wife and I met up after work and narrowly avoided a tragedy. I'm one of those people who have the engine running before the door is latched and is halfway out of the parking spot before buckling up. My wife is one of those who messes with the AC or radio for a few minutes before putting her car in gear. As a result, I almost always end up in front of her when we leave someplace. Except this night, I wanted to check that I did something and was delayed, just long enough for my wife to be in front of me when we pulled out of the parking lot. We were only a mile from home. When we arrived at our street, there was a lot of oncoming traffic. She was able to make the turn during a gap in the traffic, but I was stuck waiting until they passed. I was watching the last car go by when a light in my side mirror was approaching really fast. Then, bang. A drunk driver in a rusty 80s Corolla had passed out at the wheel, slumped on the gas pedal, and plowed into the back of my work truck at 55 miles per hour. I was in a heavily loaded 6,500-pound cargo van, and the impact was still hard enough for the contents of my young pockets to fly out and bounce around the cab. The shelving inside the van all bent in a V shape toward the back of the van and ripped the bolts out of the body. The car that hit me submarined under the back bumper and plowed up pavement while launching me forward several car lengths. What was left of his headlights and header panel ended up 75 feet in front of where I stopped. If I hadn't gotten paranoid about forgetting something, I'd have left in front, just like normal. You don't whip a heavily laden cargo van through gaps in traffic, so I'd probably have sat there blocking my wife from turning while I waited for a bigger gap in traffic. She'd have been caught between the drunk and my van and her little car. I don't know if she'd have ended or not, but it would have been very, very bad. Drunk dude had 6 prior convictions. Hitting me was number 7. Unlike most stories where the drunk wasn't seriously hurt, this dude plowed into a very solid and heavy vehicle in his rusty 80s Corolla. He punched his own windshield out with his face and spent 3 weeks in the ICU.